So most of these are repeats or continuations and updates of previous topics, but the first one is new, and I wanted to call everyone's attention to it. Um, every year at the P4 workshop, we have, for at least most of them, have given an award, a Distinguished Service Award, to some, usually one individual who's done significant work and contributions to p4.org as a whole, or in some significant way. And so we'd like to open that to nominations. The final decision will be made privately by the TST, and we keep that a closely guarded secret until the day of the workshop. Although we try to make sure that the person receiving the award is attending.
Andy,
So
didn't you win that once at one of the
I
workshop
did, and if
effort?
I were at home, I could point to it. I could point to my little
You
plaque
got
or
some big
thing that's. But
lucite thing.
yeah.
Didn't
So
Gordon won once
it,
too?
it's primarily fortune and glory, but you also get a physical keepsake that you can put on your shelf if you like. Um, so I guess I was thinking, I don't know if Chris Dodd has ever been nominated or won it, but I might consider nominating him. He's been continuing at NVIDIA to enhance P4C in pretty significant ways. So that's one idea for a nomination that I think I will send to the TST myself. Um, but if anybody has other nominations they would like to make, feel free to send them to anybody on the TST or mention them in this meeting. All right.
I'll just informally right here nominate Vladimir.
Oh,
He
sure.
continues to educate and has been one of the primary educators of this language in the SDK.
Yeah.
Do we have a list of past nominations? I think we have done it for around 6 years or so.
Yeah, as far as, I mean, like past winners or nominees?
Like past winners.
Oh, yeah, past winners. So I definitely got it once. Gordon Brebner, I know once. I don't have a handy list. I don't
Mihai,
know.
Put that
Antonin.
in here. I'll add that in here. I'll do a little
Okay.
research, Andy.
Pretty sure Noah won it at some point. Is that right?
Hey, Nate.
Yeah, like back in 2018 or 2019. Or did she win it when it was at Connect when we were doing the in-person awards? That might have been the year.
Hi, Nate.
Yeah, long time.
All right. So we got two nominations from today. Excellent. And
So when do you start voting? Will there
I think
be
it's really up to the TST, I think. We should
okay?
probably, the TST, I think, again, like it's probably, I don't know, traditionally we kind of kept it a secret until the workshop date of October 13th. So there's not like a early deadline that we need to decide by, but if we decide within like a month and a half, it's probably fine.
Okay.
Just to sometimes the year that I won, it turned out that I didn't actually register until like the week before, and I started getting emails like, "Are you coming to the workshop?" So I knew something was up, but I didn't know what. All right. Let's see. Now, let's see. We got updates on P4. The governance board has published a job listing for applicants, and people can apply for the job for a P4 ecosystem lead. This is a full-time position with some travel and sort of be technical and marketing kind of outreach to organizations using P4 and individuals. Um, I this might be, oh yeah, this looks like the job listing there, so it has a full job description there. I know that we've received over a dozen applicants,
Wow.
and Shell has been helping sort through those, filter those, organize those, sort of a pre-filtering for the governance board to then do a finer pass over the ones that passed the first filter. So that's in progress now. I would expect a decision could take easily a month or two from now, if not a little more, given all the interviewing process and the busyness of the governance board members, but we'll see. But yeah, I think if additional applications come in now, I think they can still be considered. Any questions, comments on that one?
Is defining the role as a contractor, does that somehow limit or the number of
Oh.
applicants?
Oh, this one I think is a full-time position. This one's, I don't know if it is it defined as a contractor? I don't know.
Oh, I probably misread this.
Yeah,
No.
there's a separate one that is a contractor role, definitely. That's
So
a
it
different job role.
is, they're both contractor
Oh.
positions in the sense that they're not going to be Linux Foundation employees since they're being hired specifically by the project. So it is still a 1099 role, but
Mhm.
the ecosystem lead is still considered a full-time position. It just would be a contractor 1099 position instead of a W-2.
Thanks, Michelle. I was unaware of that distinction.
And it says that in the job listing too. So we
Yeah,
want, because we
in
did
our
want to make
title.
that clear up front.
That's the important thing. It's in the job description.
Right.
I'll go ahead and give an update on the next one, and then we can comments on any or all the above is fine anytime. So the governance board has approved the funds to pay for someone roughly the time of about 1 day a week for a year. I think what do we do? I'm guessing the governance board will either, they might have to approve it on a yearly basis for the budgeting. We have a particular person that we've offered the job to, and I believe they've accepted and are, I don't know, Michelle, if you know the updates on where that is in the administrative
Yeah, we've
task that
started.
it goes through.
Yeah, we started the onboarding for the, getting the because this is another 1099 position, so getting the contractor agreement all filled out and signed so that that paperwork is in process. I'm hoping we'll be able to wrap it up in the next week or so we can provide a more firm, informative update once the paperwork is taken care of.
Okay, and should we keep the name private until it's been finalized?
Yeah, it's
Or-
generally
All right.
good to wait until everything's fully official before we announce, and then we can introduce
Yep.
them to the wider
And,
group.
and my expectation is we will tell them that we would very much appreciate if they attend some, if not all, of the TST meetings and the TST will come up with some way of communicating, helping prioritize their activities in collaboration with them, that they'll probably have ideas that we haven't thought of too. They have several years of experience in these kinds of CI/CD roles on software projects, so they may have ideas that we haven't thought of. But they'll
Yeah,
probably be.
so I'll
Okay.
need the help of this group specifically since they are doing technical work, for y'all to kind of help track that work and make sure that the work is getting done that should be getting done.
Yep.
I'll be approving invoices on a monthly basis for hours worked, but I do need to run those by y'all and make sure that that work is actually getting done. So I agree that like attending the monthly TST meetings, and then there might be just like an email at the end of the month saying, hey, this is what the invoice is for this month. Does this look right to you? And then I just need someone to be like, yes or no, it doesn't. And that's
Sure.
how we'll kind of manage the work being done.
Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up with some kind of like maybe some P4 repo issues are used to track open and closing of tasks kind of thing. Might be one way to do it, but that's still to be decided.
Yeah, we've also had work done by a similar setup by a contractor for another project, and the TST actually put together working with the contractor, put together a list of milestones and deliverables. And so that way they were able to refer to that list every TST meeting and do an update and, talk about
Okay.
blockers. And so it was much easier to be like, this milestone was done and it was X number of hours, and then we could sign off on the invoice. So that's also another
Yep.
pretty straightforward way to track the work being done.
Have you ever used
Yeah.
the GitHub projects feature? It's not very widely used or known that I am aware of, but we used it in the Microsoft Dash project a lot, the Sonic Dash project. There's a project tool
Okay.
Right.
I have
And-
not used it.
and can link to issues. It's pretty handy. You can do sorting and, different views. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
free.
that could
Well,
definitely be an option if y'all, I'll leave it to you for how you want to track what the person is doing. We used a
Yep.
wiki page with just like a simple table and spreadsheet. So whatever works, I'm I'm not
Yeah.
the one that's going to be using it most of the time, so I'll defer to what's easiest for you.
We should, yeah, work it out with the candidate, the person with the role and the TST, how they want to keep it simple and keep it effective.
Sure. Yeah. And I know Fabian, you were doing a lot of that work, so being able to kind of hand it off and make sure that it's, all the expectations are pretty clear up front. I think the statement of work was pretty good at, encompassing a broad overview, but
Yep.
putting out milestones would also be helpful for just transparency.
Yep. Will do. We'll probably have a meeting and then compile a list of issues. We already have some issues tagged. And then we're just gonna point to them and we can start. Yeah, exactly. Setting expectations on what kind of issues we need to resolve.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
and he will make pull requests. So me and Andy will probably review those first
Perfect.
and see.
Sounds good.
And certainly, yeah, anybody else interested in the CI/CD stuff in any way, including just as a user of it in the P4C group, for example, is certainly welcome to provide comments, even if they don't want to get involved in the line by line code details. At least the functionality is certainly open to discussion. Cool. All right. I don't know if we have Billy or David here today or actually any mentor of one of the projects that knows of, I don't follow it day to day, but I know that Google Summer Code is well underway now for P4 and on 5 projects. Fabian, are you a mentor for any of them this year?
Well, I'm a backup mentor, so I'm involved with some projects. I can only give updates on one project.
That's fine.
And in that project, unfortunately, the sad news is the student has withdrawn this week, actually, after the evaluations. And so basically this project got canceled. We still have the other projects going, and they seem to be going well. It's currently evaluation phase, so the students are getting the evaluations from the mentors. And as far as I know, all of them are going to pass. That's it, basically. So those are the news I know. Davide has most of the information and keeps track of most of the GSOC events.
Great. Thanks. Yeah, I've been following one of them on, is it the behavioral model one for the multiple
Oh, yeah.
output packets? Is that the one is that continuing, or that's the one that was?
Yep, that's continuing.
Okay.
The one that's not continuing is the LLVM one,
Got
which
it.
was with Anton Korbenikov and Billy Dong.
I see.
Yeah, and the student wants to spend more time with family, essentially.
Got it.
Just one more data point. Matthew from my team is also, I guess that's the BMV2 project working on that, and he's been quite happy with his student basically, and saying it's going well. So
Great, thanks. All right, I'll move on to updates for this year's P4 workshop. We definitely have it scheduled for October 13th, Monday, noon to 3:30 p.m., co-located with the OCP Global Summit. Fernando Ramos is the program committee chair. And he's sent out invites for program committee members. I'm helping and Nate is helping search for candidates for keynote talks. If other folks have ideas for keynote speakers, feel free to send them to Fernando. The call for presentations is now open. I think that's the link there. Deadline is about 7 weeks, looks like. So please submit something if you're interested, but also pass on to anybody you think has half a chance of being interested in submitting a presentation, please pass on the invite to them in case they might not have seen the announcement. And we look forward to having a good set of presentations there. The live program is going to be shorter than it has in past years, and I believe Fernando has said that he's definitely open to the idea of having sort of among the call for presentations, sort of the top tier ones will offer a live slot, and then other ones will offer a recorded slot that would be, the recordings would be done around the time of the, maybe shortly before the workshop, and then published around the time of the workshop, the live workshop online, with program committee members sort of being moderators for those and asking questions. Let me think. There'll also be, P4.org has a booth available at the 3-day OCP Global Summit. And so if you're interested in staffing that booth to answer questions, talk, or also if people submit sort of poster or demo presentations, we'll be offering to them, some of them, the ability to present them at that booth during the rest of the 3 days of the OCP Global Summit, during the rest of the week, Tuesday through Thursday. Any questions or things I've forgotten about? Chris, we have reached out to some folks at Excite Labs to invite them for a talk.
You can add a name to that list of people to talk to.
Yep. Yep, I have reached out to them as well as their CTO. Thanks for that suggestion. And I am actually talking to somebody later today that might either be the person or hopefully knows the person that might give a talk from Cisco. Any other questions on the workshop? Comments? Things I've forgotten? I think I've already mentioned staffing the booth. Let's see. I know that for speakers, we're going to have enough passes for the 4-day, the full, 3.5, 4-day workshop, OC Global Summit, that all live speakers will definitely get a free pass, free registration. I suppose we'll decide later whether, I imagine people staffing the booth, we might offer that as well, but I don't know the details. We have to work out the details of who gets all the free ones, but I know we have plenty of free ones as part of our participation in the summit. Let's see, P4 Developer Days. David Scano continues to find lots of people to give talks in this series. There's been another one, I think, earlier this week. I unfortunately had to miss due to an overlapping meeting. But yeah, there was somebody from Intel Altera giving a talk earlier this week that is either published soon or already.
Is that Miroslav's talk?
Yes.
And yeah.
And I know there's plenty, so I believe Denise puts all of the future ones that have already been scheduled and planned onto the public p4.org meeting calendar, on which you can also find this meeting invite as well as all the other work meetings.
Curious to see some kind of a talk if they're prepared to from Oxide and or Xide on their P4 compiler for the X2 chip.
That is a good you and a bunch of other people.
Soon.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
I saw Fabian smiling because he's probably pretty close to the news there, I imagine, or the status, but probably can't,
Yes.
doesn't want to say anything until he can publish, hit commit or push on the public repo.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I know
until you hit push in the public repo, who knows how long it will take to get that first push in.
It's an open secret.
Yep. Again, yeah, and thanks, Chris, for demonstrating. Anybody else have any ideas? If anybody else has ideas for things they'd like to see others give talks on, or for themselves to volunteer to give talks for, please let David Scano or Denise or myself know, and we'll track that down. But yeah, definitely a warm thanks to David Scano for really spending the time to follow up with these and get these organized this year. It's been great.
He's gonna fly out to the event. It looks like.
Hmm.
Is that what that comment is? Oh,
Oh.
no, that's Google Summer of Code.
Oh, the Google Summer of Code, yes. I forgot to mention that. Yes, thank you. So every year with Google Summer of Code, there is a Google Summer of Code mentors meeting that's held after the summer in the fall sometime. Fabian attended that last year, and he said he found it very useful to talk to representatives from a bunch of other open source projects that are involved in Google Summer of Code. So we open it up for nominations to who could go this year, and David was a very logical choice. He's been very active in Google Summer of Code mentorships and project management. All right. And yes, I've still got, so these bottom two are really kind of reminders for me to remind the language design work group and API work group to please help draft articles on blog articles. But if other folks have ideas for blog articles they'd like to publish on p4.org, also welcome. Just like some very similar developer days, if you want to do a blog article instead of developer days, but both are open for publishing work and technical topics of interest. I think that's, so this is the software license review, which I still have kind of as a background task. I haven't done much in the last 2-3 months on it, but a reminder of previous status is I think we've successfully gotten rid of all proprietary and confidential notices from P4Lang, public P4Lang projects now. And we've gotten rid of almost all GPL code, and there's only a handful of files left like that are in test code only. Everything else should be Apache and/or BSD, and so that's pretty good. But going forward, it might be nice to make it easier to automate the checking so we don't accidentally get some more confidential proprietary files added in by accident without knowing about it for months. We did have that some files added in 2 or 3 months ago by accident that I caught pretty quick because I'd been looking. But nice to automate it. That is all the updates I have from previous topics, but as usual, well, any comments on any of those that I've missed or questions or completely separate topics I haven't even addressed? Go for it. All right, I think I counted at least 7 in my head, slowly. That's in case you're wondering why I said that, a rule of thumb I've heard is if you ask for open questions like that, and if you start talking again in 3 seconds, almost nobody has had enough time to respond. So 7 seconds is a much better time to wait to give people time to think.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
all meetings start at 5 minutes after the starting time.
Oh, well, we were shooting the breeze for a bit for the first 5 or 6 minutes, I know, so on unrelated topics, but
Isn't that almost canon at Google? I thought I actually heard someone say that once at a Google meeting. Well, we don't start till 5 minutes after.
Oh, I think, yeah, I think that's pretty, it used to be common at Cisco, especially when people were walking from meeting room to meeting room in an office to attend meetings. But yeah, in general, it's very common for previous meetings to run longer by a couple minutes, so. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. And good talking to you, good seeing you, and definitely I think the biggest thing would be if you're invited to be a program committee member, please say yes if you have the time. If you have ideas for presentations at the P4 workshop or ideas for developer days or keynote speakers at the workshop, please let us know. Thanks.
Thanks. See y'all. Have a good weekend.